All right, welcome back to another episode of I've Seen Enough. I'm here with my beautiful fiance, CJ. CJ, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Um, I'm doing all right. This is gonna be a very interesting start to our podcast because we're doing a video this time.
Yes, I. Video is weird.
Video is weird.
We're literally talking about videos like on screen, so
I mean, that's
we're like, oh, it's really weird for us to be on video. It's weird because I can see myself.
because it's recording and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they can't see us, but we can see ourselves.
Oh, okay.
That's how video works.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. Anyways, so we ended the last episode with what was it?
I was monologuing about hereditary.
That's right,
Hereditary.
Hereditary. Um, you told me all about the movie. You kind of spoiled a lot about it too.
Well, watch it then.
I will eventually.
You will not. You will not watch it. There's no way you're gonna watch
I watch
it.
clips of it.
You'll watch clips of it, really?
I won't watch the whole thing because if I watch clips of it, I'll know where the jump scares are. And that way, when I watch the movie, I'll be okay.
If somebody donated enough, like, would you watch it? Like, how much would they have to donate?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Man, that's a hard question. Actually, I don't know.
It puts you on the spot.
It does.
We could just like put it out there that if somebody gives us like a number or something, then we could work towards that, and then you could have to watch it. I think that would be hilarious because he does not like horror. You do not like horror at all.
I say $20. I'll watch it.
$20?
Or
That's
50.
not a lot.
Or
Oh,
50.
just gonna say, well,
Okay, I'll make it 50.
50.
50 out, and I will watch it.
Collectively or from one person?
I mean, collectively, that'd be a very small amount.
Oh, okay. So one person.
If it's collectively, it has to be like at least $200.
Okay.
One person, 50.
Okay, collectively 200, one person 50. I'm telling you though, like somebody please do this because I can never get him to watch a horror movie and it would be hilarious. Like you don't even know the amount of like funny that it would be. Like he watched what was it? What were we watching? And you were like it was not even scary at all.
I mean, we watched Nope, and we talked about that last week.
Yeah, and you were like even a little bit scared by that, which it didn't scare me at all.
I mean, because I don't like jump scares. That's my thing. I hate things that pop out of nowhere, like especially like very scary things. I don't like that. And like we watched, okay, you mainly watched it too,
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of.
and
It's not scary.
I basically I was playing games, but half paying attention to the movie. But then there's a spider scene.
Which okay, I'm trying to think of that one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I no that
Don't do spiders.
I don't do spiders. If there's a video game like it'd be like old, it can be like 1980s.
Or Shrek.
We don't talk about that one either. No, yeah, it's just anything spider related. I don't do because it just creeps me. I guess it's arachnophobia. It really is.
I thought it was the scene where in it too, where like the that Pennywise is like hitting his head on the glass to get to the kid.
Was that in the mirror room?
Yeah. I thought that was the thing that did it in for you, and you were like, no, no, no.
I think what really got me was the little girl behind the bleachers.
Oh,
that was. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore.
Whenever he just stops, like it, where he's like 1, 2, and she's like, "You forgot to say," and then he just like, you know, like that's.
Yeah, it's just I just don't do. I mean, I've watched the first It.
Yeah.
And then when it came out,
the old one or the newer one?
I watched both. My dad actually watched the old one before. Is it either my dad or my aunt? I know one of them watched it, and that one didn't really get me. I mean, it was old and it didn't really bother me, but the new version with the updated technology and visual effects and everything, I don't do that.
You know what one of my favorite parts in it too is though when they're at the Chinese restaurant and then he's like sitting there hitting the table with the chair at the fake things that are coming out and they're not real and
hallucinations.
Yeah.
And everybody just going crazy.
Yeah, and then the lady walks in, she's like, "Is everything okay?"
That was a weird scene. It really was.
It was like I've never read the book, so I don't know how similar it is. I don't know if I can read the book because it's literally like 1,000 pages, and I think
okay, but you read books all the time, though.
I do, but I don't like sitting with characters for that long. Like I have a limit. I have a very I don't understand how people watch all the Law and Orders. Like some people are literally like Law and Order stands, and they will watch every single episode since it came out in the '90s, and I'm just like, that's just too much. I can't. Like by that point, I'm done with characters. I feel like directors need to know when it's time to stop. It's time to stop.
I mean, you kind of like CSI and
yeah,
those shows, and talking about so yeah, CSI New York, Miami, and NCIS New Orleans, and I mean, I like those I like those shows. I think there are some interesting aspects to them, but you have to draw a line somewhere. Like, if you're having a show that's lasted like 15 seasons,
it's done. So. You're done.
Unless it's Always Sunny. Always Sunny can keep going as long as they want.
That's true. They can't, but it's also because their episodes are really short and they're humorous. I feel like I think drama for me it has its limitations.
Well, like Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
that's a huge one, and it's still going.
I've watched one episode of Grey's Anatomy. I'm just not a medical person. I don't feel like I like medical dramas because they're just too. I'm a what do you call it? Hydrochondriac? Hypochondriac? Maybe? Hypo, not hydro. That would be like water.
Water.
I'm scared of water. No, I'm the hypochondriac, whereas like anytime I see something that's like, oh, this person had like a tumor and they didn't know about it, then I start like being like, oh, do I have a tumor? I have a tumor somewhere.
It's like like ADHD. Like there's a lot of things that there are a lot of signs, and you're starting to think to yourself, do I have those symptoms as well? Like, I mean, we can't really self-diagnose ourselves, but go to the doctor and stuff like that. But
yeah.
But shows like House is a dramatic show, but I love the aspect of that he's a total jerk.
Yeah.
Which brings an interesting, different point of view of the hospital. Like, you have a doctor who will do what it takes to figure out your puzzle, but he's a jerk about it because he gets into your personal life, and I think I think it's funny, but also there's a lot of good scenes in that show.
Have you ever seen have you ever seen the TikToks where they imitate the House episodes to like every single House episode, and he's just like, everyone's like, we can't figure it out. We're just doctors. We have no idea. Like, how are we supposed to know what medical stuff is? And like, how we just went to medical school. We don't have any clue. And then House comes in and he's like, you guys all suck. I'm gonna take some pills. Okay. And this is what he's diagnosed with. And you all suck. Bye. And like, it's just like every single episode, which is like, that was pretty much it. Like, my mom watched that a lot, and I never really watched it. I just like come in because, like, again, medical shows we don't click. So
you want to know how many times my dad's seen this show?
Really?
You want to know how many times?
How many?
I think it's on 4 right now.
Why? Don't rewatch things that many times.
And you know how long that show is? I think it's like what, 8, 9 seasons, maybe longer. Hello, Kat.
Okay, she wants to join in. Hi. I was gonna say, you know who else watches something over and over and over again?
What is SpongeBob?
Your sister.
Oh, that's true.
Glee.
Glee. You have Stranger Things. You have. She's watching The Flash right now.
CW shows.
I don't watch CW shows. I don't like their quality. It bothers me.
They're really. I'm trying to think of one that I've actually watched that hasn't been too bad, and I think the one I'm watching right now, which is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which let's just say it, like they're going on way too long. Like it should have ended because the first season was all about like her stalking this guy kind of, and like she was like, "Oh, I'm moving from New York to LA because I can see myself with this guy, but I can't admit it to myself." And then she ended up like very quickly getting the guy. Like, and so then it kind of like the plot kind of unraveled a little bit because then it was like, well, okay, she already met her goal. Whereas like it should take you multiple seasons to meet a goal, you know, like you shouldn't just immediately get the goal in like the first season. But I feel like maybe they were scared they were gonna get canceled. And so they were just like, oh, we gotta hurry this plot up and we'll just do it and but it is overall like really it is pretty funny. Like I feel like they have a lot of like um they're aware. They're very aware of what they are and they're very aware. And like one part that I really wanted to tell you about is really funny. Um so one thing that I think I really liked about Fresh Prince when we watched it and the like episode where they changed Vivian's is they didn't try to like just pretend like we really don't have a new Vivian. Haha, don't pay attention.
Because Jazz is the one that said,
"You look so different."
You look so different.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "You look so different. Who are like, oh, something's different about you?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm the same lady I've always been. What are you talking about?" And so they did the same thing on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And she was like talking about how the only way she could reconcile with her ex is if he was just a completely different person. Mm-hmm. And then walks in just a completely different actor playing the guy. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Who is that?" And they're like, that's Greg, duh. And she's like, "No, it's not. That's not Greg. Who is that?" And they're like, "Girl, what's wrong with you?" He's Greg. And so then like the whole time she's just like, "I mean, I do feel very different. I am very different." And it's the guy from I think he was in Pitch Perfect. He was the love interest in Pitch Perfect. Was the guy that's now in there. Mm-hmm. And the previous one was the guy who played Hans from Frozen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. I mean, I was excited even though I'm not a big Pitch Perfect fan, but
they should have stopped at one.
Yeah.
One was good.
I don't think the jokes were that funny. Like everybody really thought they were really funny. They're like, everybody's puking on each other. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. And I think it can work, but it takes the right actors, and I don't know.
I don't know. I think Anna Kendrick, she did a great job. That was probably the first time I've seen. Was that the first time Rebel Wilson performed and acted?
I don't know because she did Bridesmaids around the same time.
Was that before or after Pitch Perfect?
I don't know.
I would think it'd be before because Pitch Perfect was a huge success.
Yeah.
When it came out because a lot of people liked the show.
Yeah.
I think it was different. It basically was like the movie version of Glee. Mm-hmm. That's basically what it was, right?
Yeah. Well. And besides all acapella.
I can't stand acapella so much.
I thought it was just the barbershop
quartets.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it back. Acapellas are decent at some point. Like if you're actually trying to be creative with it, I'll give it a listen. But quartets, please stop.
Quartets?
Quartets.
You mean acapella groups?
No, quartets are the men.
The barbershop.
Yeah. Quartets, I can't stand quartets. Quartets are the worst kind of music. Aside from opera.
Oh, yeah.
Opera they're just screaming top of their lungs in a different high-pitched voice. That's what it is.
There's a skill sometimes. I feel like some people are good opera singers. Some people I'm like, I can.
But would you pay to watch an opera singer?
Probably not.
Exactly.
On RuPaul's Drag Race, they had Monet Exchange singing opera. She sang opera, and nobody knew that she could sing like that. And it was like really surprising. And she was like, well, I just never did it before because I didn't think people would want to see somebody who was like a drag queen singing with a deeper voice. And it's like, girl, like, do it. It's your thing. You're so good. Like, because she was like really skilled. Like, it was, she said she was like trained too. Like,
really?
Yeah. So I was like, why wouldn't you do that? So now everybody's going to be going to seeing her doing her drag and be like, sing opera, do it. I bet she'll get tired of it. She'll be like, stop, please.
I just don't like opera. I really don't. When you watch like AGT, America's Got Talent, and everything, you always have that one opera singer, and all of a sudden, they're like golden buzzer.
Oh my gosh! Like, if it's a kid,
immediately
golden buzzer.
They don't They don't have to perform.
Sad story too.
Don't even get me started on sad stories. It sucks that things happen in your life, but it got to a point where the judges are asking them out of them, like, what's your story? Yeah. What's your story? What is going on in your life? And like some people do not want to tell the story. They don't, and then they talk about it, and then there's a whole process of there's like a whole slideshow and all these other background pictures and story. It's like, listen, if they don't want to talk about it, stop dragging it out of them. It doesn't work.
Well, and there's like, I mean, it's tough because I feel like some of them really like touch my heart, and then if they have the talent to back it up, I'm like, oh wow, like this is a really amazing person. But I also feel like it's overshadowing people that are really good at what they do, and yet they just don't have like a sad story to tell, and so therefore they're like put into the background because they're like, well, you don't really have a sad story, so sorry, you can't really be big.
You can't win
because we want a sad story. We want something to go off of. And
well, like he was blind? He was blind and autistic.
Yeah.
And played piano. And
Cody Lee.
And he won.
Because he was talented.
He was talented.
Like nobody I've ever seen before.
But they dragged the story out of him. Like, I mean, you can tell that, he had a disability, but you didn't need to bring a story out of him. Just let him perform and just let him do what he wants.
I think he's one of the people, though, that even if he had no disability, he would have still gone skyrocketing far because he was a naturally amazing singer and he was a naturally amazing pianist, and I love that guy. Like, I think he if he ever came to town, like I would beg you to go see him because he's amazing. And
he is.
I loved him. I really did. Like, he was, I mean, I'm sure he's still doing tours and stuff, but he was like one of the people that I was like, if he doesn't win, I'm gonna never watch this again. I love this man. You give him $1 million now. Right. Like, I loved Cody Lee. He was, and just his voice. I mean, I was just like sobbing the first time he sang. I was just sobbing because I was just good. Like, he's very good. So good. But like, back to what you were saying, that other guy the other day I was telling you about, he's a contortionist, and he was doing contortionist things, and it was pretty cool. I liked it. And Simon buzzed him. Was like, and right, I was like, okay, like, whatever. Simon's just, he gets that way. So then they were talking about it, and they were like, why would you buzz him or whatever? And he's like, well, I just wasn't getting it, and I wasn't really seeing it. And he's like, well, where are you guys from? Just to know. And the guy's like, from the Ukraine. And Simon was like, take my ex away. Take it away. I was like, really like, oh, I'm so sorry. You're from the Ukraine. Oh my gosh. I take my ex away. And it was like, you could, like, yeah, he's having a hard time with life. But like, if you didn't like the act, then just be honest. Like, don't be like backtracking and like, oh, never mind, like.
It's just sad that AGT has become a meme at this point. Like,
yeah, well, and that's TikToks are always like, I saw that one TikTok and the girl's like, when my sister dies, and then she's like, and realizing I can go on AGT and, go on the buzzer,
It's just weird because what talent do the other judges really have? Like, okay, if you want to talk about this, Simon, he can find talent. He's good at finding talent.
He's good at finding talent. But does he have any?
Exactly.
He sang in Shrek. He's pretty good in that, I guess. Yeah. In Shrek 2.
Yeah, the only time we ever hear him sing or do anything remotely to that. I don't know if that's actually him, though.
Probably not.
Yeah. Howie Mandel. He's not really... I mean, he has his moments, but he's not really that funny. I don't think.
I mean, he was a good game show host. That's what I loved him for. As far as... Comedy... I don't see it. Like, I've never even heard of his cartoon. He talks about it all the time, and I still have no interest to look it up.
I have heard his voice acting, and they're actually good, but in terms of... I mean, that's probably like real talent he has, though.
Yeah.
Heidi is a model.
Models do have hard work. Talent. They work hard.
They do work hard. Then you have Sophia, who is an actress.
She does have talent. She's a good actress.
I want to say she's great, though. Would you?
I was gonna say, well, I haven't seen her in really anything else other than Modern Family.
Yeah, and that's
she's good in it.
She's good, but is it like worthy of being a judge though? So judging other people to, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, people who are actually really, really talented should be judges.
Well, and they've had other people too. That's like, who are you and why?
Like American Idol. Those three judges right now: Lionel Richie, is Luke Combs,
Bryant.
I'm sorry, Luke. They're all the same. Anyways, I'm kidding. And then Katy Perry. They're all talented.
Yes.
So they know music. They know they know the pitches, the tones, and how somebody should improve on their weaknesses and strengths.
Yeah.
That's where, like, they are good judges there. I mean, before the OGs were Simon Cowell and then Paul Abdul and Randy Jackson. I love Randy. I did, but
is he just a producer? Does he just do
music. He does music producing.
I know he's a pianist too. Like, yes. I know he does that too because we saw that other show that he's in recently. But
he was in that. It's a music show. And it was like name this tune. Name that tune. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Actually, not a bad show. But
I'm not into it.
I like guessing songs by their tunes, but
I do, but I don't like the fact that it's played instrumental by a band. Like, I would rather just play, but I guess that's what they're trying to do, is make it unique.
Yeah, make it unique, different style and stuff like that. Like, it's like Jimmy Fallon and The Roots. The Roots always playing songs. Yeah. That's instrumental and everything too.
Yeah.
And
I know,
they're a good band.
They're a really good band. They're like a really good band.
Yes.
And
And then you have, Paula Abdul. She's she definitely had top hits, especially from the 80s and
straight up.
Some 90s too. So, again, you had talented people there, but you look at AGT, like Howard Stern.
They had Pierce Morgan at some point. That's right. They had Sharon Osbourne, which I love Sharon.
I like Sharon.
Don't get me wrong. I love her as a personality, but what does she have?
Ozzy should have been there because he's a talented one. To be more fair.
Like,
because Ozzy had a lot more hits. He's a lot more famous, and I would say than Sharon.
One day they're gonna put people on there that are like really unbearable, like really bad.
It's just going to be. It's going to get
like one day it's going to be like Logan Paul or something.
Please don't. I would probably cry if that ever happened.
He's running for president.
We're not going to get
I think.
We are not getting to that.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No.
Let's go back to the you want to talk about how we finished Umbrella Academy?
I mean, we kind of touched on it, but it's such a forgettable show. Again, we talked about this, we talked about this last week. It's a very forgettable show, and I think that because what happened was Luther died.
Yeah.
Klaus died, but came back because of his powers. But it took him
way too long.
It's like what, 10 minutes or 20?
I don't know.
And yet
he was gone for like a whole day. I thought because they arrived and then they stayed and
you got to the other side of the door somehow, which they never really explain that part.
I will say that one shot of him like jumping and then getting on the
bison.
Yeah, on the bison. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but
some of their effects though, I do kind of wonder. Like sometimes I'm like, oh,
blood.
That's good, and then sometimes I'm like, that's really weird. I don't like that.
The blood cuts and everything. That's so bad. That's very, very bad graphic there. Like,
yeah,
because when the dad killed Luther, it was like it looked green, didn't it?
Yeah, it was weird.
It's like not even blood. That's like Luther's human though.
Effects have been weird lately.
What in the show? Yes.
Well, no, in general. Remember, I Am Groot. Watching I Am Groot.
Yes, we did watch I Am Groot, but I mean, again, I think the whole reason they didn't have a high budget because it's 6 minutes long each episode.
I know.
So they don't need.
They're Marvel.
Yeah, but you don't need the whole budget because you save that money for other bigger projects like the movies.
I guess, but then why make it at all?
I think it's something out there just to have. I mean, you look at
It's tough because I love Groot. Like I love him as a character, and I love Baby Groot. I have a pop back there of him. It's very cute, but it's like why did we waste our time on this if it doesn't hold importance? Because I feel like every single Marvel movie I put importance onto it. I'm like, what is the importance of this? And I want to see it play out into all the other movies.
I think it's something to
and TV shows.
Yeah, I think it's just something that it's not. I don't think it's a waste of time per se. It's only 30 minutes long for all of them. Like that's not even a full Netflix show at all. So I think it's more of to show how Groot was after Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and then to number 2 before the movie. I think that's where the time span is. And then you have another 5 episodes coming out later. But I think it's just something to have out there just a little. Maybe fans wanted this and they had it out there. They just had extra project to do. I mean, again, it's something small. It's not hurting anything or anyone.
No, I'm not.
I mean, not everything has to have it.
I'm not trying to put it down. It's definitely cute, but I guess I have my expectations for Marvel are getting lower because they're lowering them. Like, not to sound mean. That's a very brutal way to say it, but like they just kind of are.
So we've been spoiled with Marvel. We have really been spoiled because if you look at DC right now, it's a mess. They have no idea what they're doing. They had a plan and it failed. They're still making movies, but they're still not really connected or anything. But you have Marvel right now. We had phase 1 through 4. Or I'm sorry, phase 1 through 3, which was the Infinity Saga. We had all that build up for all these characters. We had Iron Man, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy team. We had Black Widow, Wanda. I mean, we had all these new characters that came out for the big bad, which is Thanos.
Yeah.
They had Infinity War and Endgame. Huge success. Well, probably the best movies out there as of right now because of how big and how many comic fans there are.
Yeah.
And then we have to enter phase 4 like we're starting on phase 1. We're starting over. We had all these new characters that are trying to develop.
Yeah.
You have Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. You have WandaVision introducing Monica Rambeau. You have Doctor Strange 2 introducing Richard Reed, I mean Wanda, and American Chavez, and that whole development. Then you have Loki going through the multiverse. Kang, they already introduced a new big bad, Kang.
Yeah.
And I mean,
a new big bad.
Yeah, he's the next big bad.
Is that like the official name or? Of villains, do you call them big bad?
I call when
does other people do
that? Yeah, I mean I call them big bads because they are the biggest threat to Avengers, like Thanos was.
So you're trademarking that big bad.
I can't trademark that.
You can too. You can trademark it.
No, I'm not trademarking that. I mean, if somebody else wants to, they can. I don't care.
The next big bad.
The next big bad. TM. No. No. Kang is gonna be the next big villain, and then they're going to introduce Doctor Doom very soon. Yeah. Moon Knight's another one as well, and a lot of people don't know about Moon Knight. I mean,
a lot of people don't know about Moon Knight.
What do you mean?
So many people know about Moon
Knight. Really.
The whole universe knows about.
Not really. In terms of like comics and everything, not a lot of people know about Moon Knight's like origins and stuff. That's why Moon Knight was a big project. They're kind of scared to work on, but they did anyways. And I think Moon Knight's probably one of the best TV shows they produce out there. Oh yeah. In terms of shot and acting, and
no.
Okay, your thing is WandaVision.
Yes, WandaVision and Miss Marvel.
Okay, Miss Marvel started out strong though, but then it fell pretty short. I would think. I think it fell off like the last.
I think it can redeem itself.
It can.
I think
Loki is going to be the biggest controversial thing because there are some aspects I did like. There are some aspects I didn't like. It is very confusing. It's one of the shows you have to watch more than once to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But I do love how they introduced King. I do love how he's like, yeah, I'm coming back no matter what's going to happen.
Well, and I do like that last battle scene where he's just like, see you soon.
Yeah, and you see the branches.
Yeah.
Figuring out, so it's coming.
Yeah.
So Loki has ups and downs. What's another show that we missed? We have WandaVision. We have Loki. We had
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye was a good one. Hawkeye was a good one.
It was so good.
I like the whole down to earth realism to Hawkeye.
Yes. And it didn't feel like they were trying hard. No, I feel like sometimes in Marvel shows it feels like we're trying so hard. Like we're working our tails off, and it felt like this one was very natural.
I like the how they made Hawkeye more human in this one because he had a hearing aid and everything.
Yeah.
If we deal with all these superheroes and everything.
Well, an explosion after explosion.
And, he's just human. He's a very skilled assassin, but he's human. He doesn't have powers. He's just Batman.
Yeah.
Without the true detective stuff.
Yeah. Which I'm sorry. Can I stop you? If I don't stop you, I'll lose this thought. Have you heard of the Batgirl scandal?
How they got canceled?
Yeah. How some guy just came in and was like, I'm gonna figure out how to save the studio, so cancel everything. Like, he canceled Batgirl even though it was like ready to go.
So I think that same guy is the same guy that worked with Kevin Feige that developed the MCU, because they actually worked together to get this project going. So now he's going to help DC create their own DCU.
Yeah, but they just finished with everything. They worked hard on that project. Those are real actors who does their job.
What I'm actually really upset about is Brendan Fraser. He was supposed to be in it.
Oh yeah.
He's supposed to be one of the guys in it, and he actually worked hard, and he actually finally came out of retirement to act and everything. And
everybody stands.
Everybody loves Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great actor. He is.
Yeah.
I love the Mummy movies.
He's turning into Matthew Willard. Yeah.
Of
Scooby-Doo. Shaggy.
Yeah, the Golden Retriever. Everybody loves him.
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah. I love that man though.
He's
Those are like the two TikTok stand guys.
Right, and I mean they already talked about a Scooby Doo 3 possibility.
Yeah, well, they were working on Scooby Doo movie 2, and he canceled it. They were working on the scoring, and that was another thing that guy canceled.
But I mean, they're still working on it. I think they're actually trying to bring it back in, but the problem is they said it might be rated R, which is going to be a weird.
Sexy Velma. Sexy Velma.
I don't know.
Back,
I don't
please.
know if they're going to. You gotta stop. I think they are going. I don't know. How do you make a Scooby Doo show rated R?
I can look at myself naked. You remember that line? That's pretty PG-13 for people my age. Yeah, whenever I was watching it,
it was PG-13, not rated R. Like rated R is like more violent and there's a lot more. True. There's a lot more stuff to it.
A lot more stuff.
I mean, there are though. Yeah. I mean,
it's gonna be. I mean, I kind of am ready for that though. I don't know. The bad thing about Scooby-Doo movies is it gets overloaded. Like, it's very cluttered.
The cartoons.
There's so many Scooby-Doo movies.
The John Cena.
Well, there's the old ones, the original ones, like 2000 ones. Then there's the Scoob. There's the Scooby-Doo New Age or whatever, where they looked all really bad.
What's your favorite Scooby-Doo?
Obviously, Monsters Unleashed.
To know the cartoons.
Well, I mean, I like the cartoons too. I like the ghost one, with the little ghost girl. And they had Frankenstein as a little girl too. I don't know what it was called. I forgot.
I don't remember. Are you talking about like when they were kids? That's
No, they were like at a school for. It was like they were at a school for ghouls or whatever. School ghoul. I feel like it was called or something. Ghouls for school.
I don't think I ever watched that one.
It was really good. I don't know. I'm just gonna look at it.
The ones I loved as a kid was the Cyber Attack when they go to different video games.
I remember that.
That's like one of the best ones out there for cartoon wise, and then also a pup named Scooby Doo when they're all kids.
Oh yeah.
I love that one. I used to watch that before I went to school every morning. I was like, oh man, this is a good theme song, good plot. It's just something fun, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cyber Attack was. I don't know if it's called Cyber Attack. Was Cyber Space maybe? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. But they go to like different video games and like different virtual realities, and that was a good movie. It really was.
We have got to get to you. I don't mean you. I mean you, the show.
You want to save it this one or next episode?
I feel like we can work. I feel like we can get it in. I feel like we can talk about it. Because then the next time you'll have finished. So let's just talk about like what we've seen up till now because I'm excited to talk about it.
I don't like Joe.
No, we love Joe.
No, Joe's a terrible person.
We can stan fake killers. Killers that are fictional, not actual people that kill.
No, we cannot stand serial killers.
Serial killers fictional.
I don't care.
They're fictional.
I don't care. They kill people. He
was doing it for love.
No, I don't care.
Not for the person love, out of love.
Would you kill somebody for me? Would you kill
in a fictional world?
No.
Not in real life.
No, you tell me. Would you kill somebody for me?
If they were actively hurting you, then I would, and I couldn't help you in any other way besides, like, that, then yes. But I would literally try everything else before. I'd, like, if they were, like, tackling you and they were, like, and beating you up and stuff, then I would be like, no, stop. And then I'd try to, like, grab them off. And then if they kept, like, and then they were about to, like, hurt you, then I'd have to do whatever means necessary. But I would try everything in my power before that, and I would never do that. I'd never get in that situation, so I don't have to do that because I don't want to.
Yeah, but Joe never got into the situation.
He didn't. He's a fictional character, Zach.
No, but I'm telling you, this is this show is basically like they were acting in real life. So there's no like huge fictional story here. It's just this what could happen.
Yeah.
So this could be a reality.
No, it could really fictional.
I don't care. You cannot stand a man who's killing multiple people for women that he's preying on. He's stalking.
He's not preying on them.
He's stalking these women, and yet, I mean, I don't know why they keep falling in love with him, but still,
he is a little pretentious, and I don't think I'd put up with that shit. I feel like I would be very upset because I'd be like, stop, like, don't be so pretentious. Like even in the library, he's using the long earphones with the cord. It's like, get yourself some AirPods, sir. What century are you living in? But he was like, oh, I'm too good for AirPods. I don't do what the other people do. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
I guess so. I mean, but he does live in a rich home because he's married to money.
Yeah, but then he hates everybody around there. He never gives anybody a chance, and he's like, oh, they're all just so irritating. I hate them so much. And he's like, if you don't read classics, if you read something stupid, then you're not good enough. And it's like, reading is reading, sir.
I mean, you gotta respect the classics sometimes, though.
I know, but he's like, oh, you know Charles Dickens? What? It's like, bro, like, everybody knows Charles Dickens. Like, people read him sometimes. Like, it's not always, like... But if you want to read Twilight, read Twilight. If you want to read, smut, go for it,
It's just... Do you not understand how many lives he has ruined, though? Like, he's ruined relationships, friendships, and stuff.
I know,
but... We're talking about the first season here.
Yes.
That is none of his business. If Beck is her own person, and he killed Peach, Beck knew if there's going to come to a point where she can walk away from that friendship. That's Beck's decision, not his, to make.
Beck was very frustrating in times like that.
Benji is another one. Benji was, a bad person, but that's not for him to decide to be executioner or not.
Well, and that's why for a little bit we were determining whether or not Beck is the real villain. Because, like, not now, obviously. She's dead, so she can't really be the real villain when she's dead.
Probably Love is a real villain, too. I mean, they're all villains, to be honest, though.
Yeah.
Like, Peach is a bad person, because she manipulates people to get what she wants.
Yeah.
And then whenever people say no to her, she blames on everybody else.
Yeah.
Which is... I don't like Peach at all. I really think. She was like the Santana to me from Glee. I didn't like her. I'd still kind of on the fence with her, but
I do really like that actress though. She's really good. She was in Pretty Little Liars. Yeah,
they're all good actors.
Especially Penn Badgley.
The guy who plays Joe. Yes. He's exceptional. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's the main reason I'm actually keep watching the show because I actually liked his acting and I could see, man, this is good stuff. Like I like what he's doing here.
When he threw that fist into the wall,
because he was angry with her because she made him feel bad for what she did. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, you don't get to be you don't get to blame everybody else for your own problems.
Well, I like the way they filmed that too because like he hit the wall, but he didn't break it, because I feel like that would have been too much, and like he just hit it like a little bit, and you don't even see the wall, you don't even see his fist connect with the wall, you just hear it, and I was like, that's a really genius way because it's not enough for us to be like, oh wow, he's out of control, but like it's enough for us to be like, okay, we see how frustrated he is with the situation.
And I actually like they didn't put a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like everybody puts a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
He just did a real quick hit to the wall and like, yeah, this is how angry I am, but I don't want to hurt anybody.
I will say in this newer season, like I told you earlier, is like if you've noticed though, he has not hurt anybody. And he's tried really hard not to hurt anybody. He's really been changing as a person, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but been trying to change since last season. He still killed somebody.
That was only the first season.
No, second season he killed somebody too. He killed a celebrity.
He didn't kill. Oh, we're in the third season.
I know, but you're saying that he's.
I forgot we were in the third season. I thought we were still in the second season.
No, we're almost done with the third season. Oh. We had like 3 episodes left, so we're done.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
But he's been trying to change. He's been telling himself he's been trying to change since the second season. We said he wouldn't do this anymore, but yeah, he did it anyways. And then he's like, I'm not going to do this anymore. Again in the third season. And yet he's trying to do the same thing for his co-worker. Yeah, so he's not... He's slightly better, but he's not better, if you know what I'm saying. It's just...
I'm just excited for you to watch. Because the last episode was amazing.
I know there is a season 4, but how is this man not in prison already? Both of them, actually.
Maybe he is. Maybe the season ends with him in prison.
No, if they're making another season, he's not in prison. There's no way.
Gonna have to wait and see.
I guess we will, because I don't see that ever happening to this man.
I think. I am noticing some Easter eggs that I didn't notice before, which is amazing.
Like foreshadowing.
Yes. Today I was watching it, I was like, oh, Easter egg. Can't wait.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the next probably a few days. We'll probably end up finishing it this weekend.
Today.
Yeah, I don't
Tonight.
Think today. I think tomorrow probably the most likely chance.
We're gonna be gone all day, I think.
We'll be back by that night.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we should have time, but yeah, I think we can talk more once I collect my thoughts on and like when I'm caught up and everything. So, but yeah, as a little recap of what I know so far. Yeah. But thank you, everybody. This has been a great episode. We're gonna try to do video more often. I'll try to, I don't know, spice it up, I guess, with more like overlays and stuff. I gotta get to work. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And just to be clear, I do not stan serial killers. Just to be clear.
That's what she says. So
that's true.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.